CSGO investing is weird sometimes. Why are these useless bayonet frog patches up 80% in some cases in just the past month? Let alone look at this graph since the end of 2023. One of, if not the best investments in the game somehow. They've 22x'd in price over like a year and a half's time. It's absolutely insane. Well, certain skins like Sapphires got pretty crushed because of how tacky they look in CS2. They just don't look like Sapphires at all. Meanwhile, that's given Phase 2 dopplers, which got a huge buff, a ton of room for investors to come in, and just general players to swoop in and take advantage of the limited supply on those skins relative to the demand that just picked up insanely because of how good they suddenly looked after the initial CS2 update they got. They made them really pink. So are these investments going to continue to do well, and what kind of things should you look for when it comes to investing in CS2 skins right now? But if you have a bunch of junk in your inventory, Skins Monkey is a great place to get rid of it. Not only do you get a free $5 bonus on your first trade when you sign up with that link in the description, you can also get a 35% deposit bonus while depositing with cash, crypto, or any of the other methods. And even if you don't want to trade, they have free daily giveaways to enter as well. Thanks to Skins Monkey for sponsoring. Once again, link in the description. Well, limited supply is the main thing. I mean, just look at the Copenhagen major passes that just got removed from the game at the beginning of the month. People are already paying ridiculous amounts of money for this thing. It just shows how stupid this market is sometimes. And no matter how useless an item may be, like with this major pass, all you get for owning it after the major ends is the option to redeem a bronze coin, or just going back to stuff like patches. You can apply them to your agents, but for the price they cost, it's obviously nuts. You can't see them in game really, at least not when you're playing. When you're looking at your agent, sure, but should you even be buying this stuff despite how good the graph looks? Well, with stuff like patches and agents, I absolutely would not touch them right now. Sure, their charts looks absolutely incredible, and it will probably continue to go up until we get a new operation, where we'll get more agents and more patches for way cheaper. And I would say, sure, you can invest in those. They'll probably end up being super limited as well, since, I mean, we barely get operations anymore. Assuming we get a similar system to the last time, which I assume we will because it made Valve a lot of money, people tend to spend most of their stars on cases. So investing in the old patches, the old agents, stuff like that right now, it's just too expensive and too ridiculous. They will crash in price whenever we get the new stuff. When that new stuff comes out, it's going to be super limited again, and I would invest in it then. But wait till then. Buying stuff at this price is just too ridiculous. And I would say if you own patches and agents and have for a long time, maybe you probably have agents sitting around in your inventory that you forgot about, and it's probably really expensive right now. So starting to sell some of those off, or at least turn them into like more liquid items, like a nice knife or something, would be a pretty good idea. They aren't going to go up forever. They're going to crash in price whenever we get a new operation, like 100%. But of course, patches and agents are not the only stuff in the game. And personally, I'm a big fan of investing in stuff that got updated in CS2 that caused a lot more demand for it. That's why I mentioned Phase 2 dopplers at the beginning of the video, because they're probably the best example of this. They look 100 times better than they did in CSGO, and there's almost no stopping their price increases since that update release that made them look a lot better. You'll note that Fade skins also got a massive upgrade. Sure, they look a lot better than they did in CSGO, but why hasn't price followed nearly as well? It's because there hasn't really been a supply shock with them. Phase 2 dopplers suddenly got a ton of more demand. Well, it's not like the Fade skins ever looked horrible. They were always some of the best looking knives. They just got a good upgrade like everything in CS2. So, of course, like everything, they benefited off the initial CS2 hype spike that everything had. But after that, they've kind of simmered down. Well, Phase 2 dopplers and a lot of the Gamma doppler skins as well have continued to do ridiculously well because of how much better they look, how limited some of the phases are, stuff like that. Their uptrend is nowhere near the parabolic uptrend we had at the beginning of CS2, so this is a lot more of a sustainable demand for the skins. More people are buying them than there are selling, and people are willing to pay a higher price for well over a year at this point because, I mean, they look way better. So I still believe we have a lot of room to go for those skins. I don't think they're anywhere near the caps despite how expensive they are. They went a lot higher when the initial like parabolic uptrend happened in CS2. So I'm sure they could do a lot better, and a lot of these charts I'm showing are on Cantry.dev, so I recommend checking that site out as well if you guys want to see long-term price charts and make your decision making off that. So as always, free $5 bonus on Skins Monkey, link at the top of the description. Be sure to get that free $5 on your first trade. But for now, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.